It's just you and I right now?
There is another, one more training, but it is just you and I. So let's begin. And you've already checked in. Shagun will be joining shortly, I believe, so we'll invite him in when he joins. But I was going to begin on our back today. We already did our check-in. So let's begin on our back. Welcome in. I want to shift songs so we have something. Hello, Shagun, welcome in. Something a little grounding for today to start us off. Hello, Aubrey, great to see you. Let's give it one more minute and I'd love to check in with Shagun and Aubrey. How are you today?
Hi, sorry running late. I'm good.
No worries. Take a breath. We're going to start on our back so you have time to get there.
Sounds good.
Anything you need to work on, Aubrey?
My hamstrings are kind of a little sore. I think I overdid them a little bit, but besides that, good.
Awesome. Shagun, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, sorry, my internet was acting super slow. I just luckily heard you say my name. I'm doing okay. I just exercised outside. I'm starting some new workout programs, and I'm trying to get my life back together. It was all over the place the past couple of months. That's everyone.
Absolutely sure, but I'm so glad you're here. So good to see you. All right, so we're going to begin on our backs. We're going to work on the legs, requested for the knees, requested for the hamstrings. And I always need my legs to be worked. So here we go. On your back, let's take a moment. We'll do our preliminary breathing on our back. You may have your feet on the floor with knees up toward the sky, or you may extend your legs long, whatever's more comfortable for you. Take a moment here as you start to take bigger breaths, filling your torso with air. Exhale and allow your body to become heavy. Particularly your hips, ribs, and head. You may imagine that your body is laying on a mattress, and with every exhale, you sink down further, making a deeper imprint. And again, the heaviest imprint is at the pelvis, ribs, and head. As the breath comes in and out, notice the breath rhythm. When you acknowledge the breath rhythm, then intentionally lengthen the inhales and exhales. So you take more air and take more time to fill with air. Now we're going to do very small movement to prepare our low back. And before we begin the movement, you may notice the alignment of your spine. You could put your hands right at the low back and notice that just above the pelvis, just below your rib cage, there's a small space. You might not be able to reach all the way under your back, but there's a little less connection to the floor right there. Now that's the place we're going to be moving. Start here with an inhale. As you exhale, draw your belly button down and imprint your low back onto the floor. Stay there for an inhale. Exhale, release back to your neutral. Just let your belly soften, let your hips become heavy again. At neutral, inhale, step 1. Exhale, deepen the belly button, imprint your spine onto the earth. Step 2. Stay here for an inhale, step 3. And release to neutral, step 4. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, stay. Exhale, release. Those are the 4 parts. I'll talk you through them one more time. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, maintain. Exhale, release. Now try a few more rounds of breath using your own pace. You can go faster or slower. 4 parts. Finish your next cycle. Inhale and exhale, release to neutral. Continuing to move our body in unison with the breath, you might bring your feet a little closer to the hips for shoulder bridge. Start here on the floor with an inhale. Exhale, lift your hips. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Continue on your own rhythm. One more. When your hips touch the floor, pause for a moment. Then as you're ready, hug both knees. One hand on each knee. You can rock side to side if that feels good, or forward and back. Keep your right knee, extend the left foot long. Both feet can be flexed. Notice the back of your pelvis. Double check that both hips are equally heavy on the floor. Sometimes you roll to one side or the other. Enjoy another breath in. As you exhale, exchange legs. Inhale, noticing the connection of your body to the floor. Place your left foot on the floor, cross right ankle over the left. So your knee is open to the side. Then draw your left knee toward the chest. As you exhale, release this foot. It's tempting for me to stay there all day because that felt really good. Switch to the second side. Which does remind me, if anything feels good or that you need to do the pose for a bit longer, you're welcome to do that. And you can rejoin the practice as you like. Then release that foot. Let's transition, a little different than we sometimes do. We'll come right onto the belly, so you can just rotisserie around to your belly. We'll do some spinal extension here, starting with the hands under the forehead. Hips are pressed down into the floor with your tailbone lengthening toward the heels. Inhale, look forward, extend the spine. You can press your hands against the earth. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more here. You're welcome to stay here or bring your arms to Sphinx. Same thing. With your arms in Sphinx, you can pull the elbows back as you pull your chest forward and release. Lengthening as you extend. Inhale and exhale. One more here. Using your back muscles to contract the spine. And release. Again, you're welcome to stay here or go back to hands under forehead. Or come to traditional cobra hands beside your chest. And inhale, lifting maybe up to full cobra. And release. Good. Use the inhale and your focus to guide you. So look, then lift. Two more on your own breath rhythm. Last one. Enjoy. Bring your hands under the forehead once again. Reach your right hand back for your right foot. Elbow points up to the sky as you draw the heel toward your glutes. This is a preliminary quadriceps stretch. After you exhale, change legs. Left hand finds left foot. Elbow up to the sky. And you're drawing your heel toward the glute, keeping the front of your hips on the floor. And gently release. Let's take a wide knee child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Your hips are low, forehead is near to the floor. As you breathe, imagine filling up the back space with air, expanding laterally or to the side. Exhaling as you soften toward the midline. For me in child's pose, the inhale feels like a widening action, and the exhale feels like a narrowing action to the spine or to the back. Walk your hands over to the right, extending the left arm, maybe placing left hand on the right, or wrapping your right hand around the back. Enjoy another breath in. As you exhale, travel through center. Over to your second side. Taking a similar arm variation, then returning attention to the breath. Come back through center. Inhale up to table as you're ready. Let's take some cat and cow. Inhaling, extend your spine. Exhale, flex the spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale to flex. One more cycle. And for a bit of extra extension, walk your hands forward to puppy dog. The knees stay where they are above, or below the hips, so the hips are still above the knees, but your chest is sloping toward the floor. You may be resting on your forehead. You may be able to rest on your mouth or the chin. Those are a little more intense. You may also be able to lift the forearms coming onto the fingertips. As you exhale, allow your chest to melt down toward the floor. One more inhale, and exhale, gently walk yourself back. It's not an easy transition out. And we'll finish our warm-up with a twist here. Right hand lifts up toward the side, gaze follows, inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm under left, ear and shoulder come to the floor. Your left arm can extend forward or wrap behind your back. I have a guess that music is a little loud on your end. It's a little loud on my end. Enjoy another breath here. And an exhale. Your inhale will bring you back to tabletop. Second side, left arm lifts, gaze follows. Thread the needle, ear and shoulder to the floor. Come back to the breath. Notice where your mind is. We are capable of doing movement without thinking, but the object is to direct all of your thinking toward the movement in an observational capacity. So notice if you're thinking about other things and just purposefully redirect your attention back to the breath, to that observational state of being for one more inhale. And an exhale. The next in-breath brings you back to tabletop, and we'll set up our first downward dog. Strong hands, strong feet, lift your hips. And breathe as you pedal out, waking up your toes and shifting weight from hip to hip. Settle your feet by bending your knees and activating your hips. Reach them up toward the sky. And then spiral your arms into the floor so you feel your triceps wrap, the back widens, spine lengthens. Breathe. Look forward and walk your feet to your hands. Stand at the top of the mat with knees bent, feet separated slightly. Option to interlace opposite elbows as you let your spine drape over the legs, observing the effects of gravity pulling the body downward or pulling the torso downward. Sometimes I like to place my hands on the back of my head to experience a little more downward weight through the upper spine. Release your hands wherever they are. Bend your knees, activate the glutes, and inhale as you stand all the way up. Generous warm-up today, so we'll go directly into Sun Salutation B. Start with an inhale, exhale, chair. Your hips sit low. Sweep your arms either forward, if your shoulders feel a little tight today, or above head. Imagine the back of your pelvis widening and the front of your pelvis lengthening up. One more breath in. Exhale, fold. Half lift as you inhale. Exhale, step back to plank. We're moving slowly through the first one, taking a full breath in each position to really establish the shape. In plank, pause for a moment, and I'm going to lower my knee to demonstrate. Draw the tailbone back toward your heels. For me, my tailbone naturally points up, so I have to readjust it backward. And then think about your throat looking forward. Inhale, shift weight forward, optional knees as you exhale to the floor. Cobra as you inhale. Release. Come back to table or plank on an inhale, and downward dog as you exhale. Breathe in, and breathe out, big toes together. Right leg lifts. Left leg stays strong, the knee is still slightly bent. Heel is reaching down. Breathe in. Exhale, knee to nose. Dome your spine. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time, extending the hip. And step your right foot between your hands. Lower the back knee down, untuck your toe. Bring the torso up, right hand, left hand. Press down into your front foot. Sometimes the weight is back in your heel. Shift weight forward so you can press down into that heel. Then sweep your arm up. Imagine there's a piece of paper under your heel trying to fly away in the wind, and you have to press down to hold the paper there. On your next inhale, look to the sky. Exhale, hands to earth, plank dog. Enjoy a breath in downward dog. Exhale, big toes together, second side. Left leg lifts, the right heel remains strong. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time, extending. And step the left foot through. Lower the back knee down. Bring your body up and adjust the torso, or the pelvis. Then shift weight into your front heel. For me, that actually moves my pelvis forward and it moves the weight into this hip. Then sweep your arms up. Your next inhale, you can look skyward. Exhale, plant your hands, plank dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Look forward. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to lower. Bend your knees. Sweep up to standing, or to chair, excuse me. Hands to heart. I want to workshop one detail today. Check it out for a moment. When you're in forward fold, I'm going to talk about this half lift moment. The knees stay bent. And when you come into a half lift, it's an extension of the spine from the tail all the way up to the crown. So if you keep the hips low, that gives you a little more accessibility to the motion of extending belly button lifts, chest lifts, and even the head lifts. So you end up with the spine parallel to the floor. I'm a little higher than I need to be, yeah? But notice that whole time, I'm isolating the movement from my hips up to my head. Let's try that a couple times in a forward fold. The knees are bent, and from the bent knees, the bottom of the pelvis lengthens as you lift. Good, and lower. Good. Try that from all the way in the forward fold, where the spine is flexed, and you extend the muscles of the back to lift. Good. And lower. Do it one more time. That was really nice, Shagun. Really nice, Janine. Excellent, Aubrey. Yeah, so it's going to build strength in this area where we, society, are chronically weak. Bend your knees and come all the way up to standing. And let's think about that transition on our next time through the sequence. Take a breath before we go. And set your hips down for chair. Inhale to add your arms. Now there's a similar sensation in your body of extending the spine here, just like we were doing in forward fold. Take a breath in and fold. Now here we go. Keep the knees bent as you extend the spine, reaching the crown away from tail, and fold, plant your hands and find plank. In plank, you're maybe looking down, that's natural tendency. Look forward, so you feel that extension through the upper back here, then lower. So you're looking forward as you lower. Cobra. Release. Plank to dog. Breathe in. And breathe out, big toes together. Right leg lifts. Knee to nose, one time. Inhale, extend. Step the right foot through. Back knee down, torso up. You're pressing down into the front foot very actively. Take another breath to extend your spine. Exhale, plank dog. Plant the hands. Plank dog. Second side, left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step it through. Press down into that front heel as you lift your arms. So the weight is really pressed down into the heel to activate the underside of the leg. One more breath in. Plank dog. From here, enjoy a breath in and a breath out. Look forward, step your feet forward. Half lift. Knees stay bent here. Remember, this is exactly the same as the first half lift. And lower. Then bend your knees more for chair. Oops, hitting a plant on the way up, and then stand. So one thing I noticed as I watched that time around, when we go into our first one, we have a very nice fold in the legs, so spinal extension is easier. When we return, we come back to standing, the legs tend to be straight, which makes spinal extension more difficult. So I encourage when you return, the retrograde version, the last half, come back to the bent knees and use that to help find extension on the return. One more time through the sequence. Inhale, arms, nope, chair. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Half lift, a micro bend to the knees. Plant your hands, step or hop. High plank to low plank. Looking forward. Cobra. Downward dog. Immediately the right leg lifts. One time knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Step your right foot through. High or low lunge, yogi's choice. Body up with one breath. All the way to downward dog with your exhale. Left leg lifts immediately. Knee to nose. Inhale, lift. And step it through. High or low lunge, one breath up. And one breath down. Plank dog. We'll take an extra breath in. And prepare to travel your feet to your hands. Half lift when you arrive. Exhale, lower. Chair. Tadasana. Reclaim your breath. Let's do a little half moon. You can do this with the feet separated or feet together. Inhale, sweep your arms above head. Get long through the body, but soft through the shoulders. So there's this lengthening action through the midline. Hips go to the left, torso to the right. As you go, whichever side is bending, you're pressing into that side foot. So if you're going to your right, you're pressing into your left big toes. I guess you only have one big toe on the left. Breathe in. Stay here as you exhale. Inhale your body up. Pause at center. Reorganize that line of energy through the middle. Hips right, torso left. And once you find this lateral bend, press down into your opposite side big toe. So your right big toe here. And that creates a line of energy from the foot up through the body. It creates a little more space. One more inhale. And an exhale. The body brings you up. Let's bring forearms to the top of the head. Your elbows can be wide. My shoulders are a little tight today. Look up and begin to take your spine back into extension. As you go back, though, the energy of your chest is lifting. Trying to avoid compressing the low back, it's actually lengthening into extension. Look forward. Release your hands. Separate your feet, bend the knees, and forward fold. Grip of choice around your big toes or under the feet, even around the ankles. Yogi's choice. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, torso toward the legs. This is another opportunity to keep the knees bent, but that space in the back of the knees is active, not because you're pressing into it, because you're pulling up with the hips and pressing down through the heels. Roll your shoulders back so they slide down, away from the ears a little bit. You're good, Jeannie. Release your neck so you could shake your neck no. Good, another breath in. And a breath out. From here, plant your hands and step just your right foot back. You may choose to use a block or a water bottle here to make your arm a bit longer. You may not need it. Reach your left arm forward. Same leg as arm forward. Your chest and hips are square to the floor here. Inhale, keep the hips square. Exhale, rotate your chest to the left. And then return. Chest and hips square to the floor. Now we're going to make this an arm circle. Sweep your arm forward and up. Arm opens. And then as the arm finds the hip, you close the chest. Hips and chest are aligned again. Reach forward. Open your chest. The hips are stable. Keep the arm circling. And then square your chest as the arm reaches down. So it's just an arm circle, but a movement into rotation of the spine. But the hips are not moving. That's the detail. One more. Reach forward as you're looking down. Open the chest. Circle the arm. And return. Place both hands on the floor. Lower the back knee. And slide your hips back. You can take that block or water bottle bit with you. If it's a water bottle, lay it on its side and you can sit on it. You can also just sit on your foot. Your foot's kind of sickled, so you can sit on both sides of your foot. Sit up tall through the spine. Exhale, fold forward over the leg. So you have a straight front leg, sitting on the back leg, reaching forward for this hamstring. Stretch a modified version of Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, fold. Now we'll move between these two positions a couple times. Crawl forward and use core strength to make this transition. Reach forward and open. Plant the hand, slide the hips back. And you can bow your forehead. Reach forward. Circle, hips down, or knee down, hips back. And you can breathe however you like. I like the inhale to open on the forward reach. Exhale to settle the hips. You can pause in either of those shapes. One more time forward. One more time back. Stay here for an extra breath, enjoying the length from the backside of the leg. Let's come forward. Step the back foot to the top of the mat to trade legs. Here we are in the opposite side lunge, right foot forward, hips are square to the floor. You may have a block for your left hand or a water bottle that just makes your arm a little longer. Reach your right arm forward, same arm as leg reaching forward. The hips are so stable here as you open your chest to the side. And all you're doing is moving your chest. The arm ends up stacked right over left, or shoulder right over left. Then circle the arm. Oh, nope, sorry, we did open and close first. Close. Stable hips open. And close. The arm stays directly above the head the whole time. So imagine there's a rubber band holding your upper arm to the ears. And close. And now as you're ready, add the circle. Open, circle back. Close the chest. Reach forward, open. Circle. Yes. You're circling backward. There you go. Stable through the hips the whole time. One more. Excellent. Hand finds the floor. Knee to the floor. Hips slide back. Modified Hanumanasana. And find a place to rest, either on a block or water bottle or the foot, then fold over the leg. Now let's move between those two shapes. Crawl forward, reach forward, inhale, hips back, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Pause in Ardha Hanumanasana, the half split. Enjoy an extra breath to open up your hamstring a little bit more. Crawl forward once again. Tuck the back toe and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower. Bend your knees, sweep up to standing. Hands return to the heart. Step your right foot back. Left foot forward, right foot back, hips are square. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. With a bent knee, fold over the front leg. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, fold. You're sliding your left hip back as you're pressing your left foot forward. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bend the front knee, look forward. Use that extension strength of your back to bring the torso up and switch legs. Right foot forward, hips square. Bend the front knee, lengthen the front side of your pelvis as you hinge forward. Once you're hinged forward, slide the right hip back as you press into your right toe, creating length through the back of the leg. Bend the knee, hands to hips, squeeze the back muscles to inhale, torso up. Doing another setup, and then we'll put a bunch of things together. Stand at the back of your mat. Two ways to do Warrior 3 setup. Hands can be at the hips the whole time, or you can reach your arms above head once we get there. Step the left foot forward. You're standing tall on the left foot, then begin lifting your right leg. That action starts to take your torso forward. Here's where you can keep the hands on your hips or begin to extend your arms forward. The hips are square to the floor. That front knee can be slightly bent so it's not locked, but there's a lot of energy through the spine. Those are the extensor muscles we talked about. Gently lower the hands to the floor and drop your forehead, releasing those back muscles but keeping your standing leg and lifted leg engaged. One more breath in. And a breath out. Stay right here. Look forward a foot. Plant your left hand on a block or water bottle. Open up your hips and shoulders to the side, balancing half moon. You're facing the long edge of your mat. You're open to the right side. Breathe in and breathe out. Close your torso once again so hips and shoulders are square to the floor once again. Release the right foot, and roll the spine back up. Step to the back and let's do that on the other side. As you step forward, it's a proud step. You're really strong on that foot, lifting up, and then you lift the back leg. That engages the butt to take you into a balance on the right foot. Hands can stay at the hips or extend forward. Soften that knee so you're not locked out through the probably the back of the knee. You're lengthening through the heel and hip. One more breath in. Exhale, hands to the earth. Your hips and shoulders are still square. Look forward. Right hand stays on the floor. So it's your right foot and right hand that are down. You're opening up your left side of the body. Stacking your left hip on the right. One more breath in. And breath out. Close once again, squaring hips and shoulders. Lower your left foot, bend the knees, and roll up. All right. Again, back of the mat. We'll add on here. Right foot forward. Nope, sorry. Left foot forward. Stand up. Teeter-totter over. The leg initiates that movement, but the belly is still strong. Hips square. Arms can be forward or beside you. One more inhale. Exhale, lower hands to the floor. Look forward. Left hand to the floor or block and open the body. One more breath in. And breath out, close. Here, bend the front knee and land the right foot onto the floor. Square the hips, square the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, Purvottanasana. Adding one more detail, bend the front knee slightly, right hand to the inside of your foot or to the outside for a challenge. Lengthen your spine and rotate it. Parshva Purvottanasana, revolved. And Parshva Purvottanasana is extreme side stretch. So you're feeling this length through the sides of your torso. For another inhale. Exhale, rotate forehead to knee. Bring your feet together and roll up on an inhale. Second side. Right foot forward, stand up. Keep lifting up through the back of your leg as you go into, I keep falling over on this side. I must have a tight hip. Once you're there, breathe and find strength through the back. Exhale, fold, standing split. Breathe in. And breathe out. Half moon. Right hand to the block. Open up the pelvis. One more inhale. Close. Hips and shoulders closing in tandem. Land your left foot back. Purvottanasana, square your hips, breathe in, and breathe out, fold. Revolved, side stretch. Left hand to the foot, inside or outside. Lengthen your spine. That's the extensor muscles. Exhale, rotate. Last breath in. And breath out, gently release. Feet together. And slowly roll up. Our pinnacle pose, we'll do a little dancer. Stand on your left foot. Reach back for your right foot. There are two schools of thought here. Traditionally it's taught with a thumb out, but I'm going to teach thumb pointing forward. So actually put your shoulder in natural rotation versus unnatural rotation. Yeah? Here, begin to kick into your foot. And it's that kick that takes you into the position. You continue to kick as you move your sternum forward, letting your hip bend, but still kicking actively into that right foot. With your shoulder in this position, you can keep the chest square without having to rotate open. One more breath in. And a breath out. Gently release. And switch. So try that for me. Normally it's taught by rotating outward. But then can you move your arm back in outward rotation? Anatomically, no. Your ribs come forward. But if you keep the hands forward, you have range of motion in the shoulder. And that's what we want. So you hold the foot, thumb pointing forward, and now your shoulder can move independently of the chest, and you can keep the alignment through the torso rather than skewing open. One more breath in, and a breath out. Gently release, and let's do a sun salutation to get us down to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. High to low plank. Cobra. Downward dog. Find a breath. And lower down to child's pose. This can be knees together version or knees wide. If your knees are together, the arms might feel better beside your feet. Find your breath rhythm again. Inhale your body up. Ardha Vajrasana. So let's release our right foot. The left foot stays where it is. There's a couple variations. My pants color doesn't show this really well. But I have my foot out to the side, but I'm still sitting on both hips. So my hip bones are on the floor, but my knee is very bent. If this isn't accessible, you can sit on a block to have the knee bent. Sit up tall, inhale, exhale, forward fold. We've done a version of this. So if you'd like to scoot forward into a full split, you're welcome to. Or you can stay right here, which is more for the quadricep and the back. If your hips are on the floor, this might be fairly intense on the knee, and you might just be sitting up. If you can, square your shoulders just a hair, dropping the right shoulder down. Yes, perfect. Not perfect, excellent. On your next breath, bring your body up. And we'll trade legs, so you can do that however you like. Maybe it's releasing one and then finding the other, or folding them both, then releasing the left foot forward. The right knee is bent under, top of the foot on the floor. Breathe in, breathe out, fold. You're welcome to take a full split variation by sliding the hips forward. On your next inhale, bring your body up. And if we can, we're going to put it together, if that works for you. Now this can be an extreme position, and if it's at all taxing on the knees, avoid. And I'll give you a variation. So you're either sitting between your feet, I'm not sure if you can see, there it's a little better, with the hips on the floor, or maybe a block. The knees are on the floor, and this might be your version, just sitting here. You might be able to have the hips on the floor and begin to recline your torso, maybe coming to the elbows. As you do that, careful the knees don't come off, they're still anchored to the floor. If either of those variations looks like we both found something that worked, no, excellent. Excellent, because we can find something else that works. We can go back to the same version we were doing before, one at a time. That takes a lot of the pressure off, and you can lean forward and twist towards, getting a little extra into that side that's bent. That can start to put that weight on the side, preparing to take more weight as if you were doing both. And then after an exhale, transition to your second side. And again, it's the same setup, but then you rotate and lean to start to put a little more weight onto that side, gently increasing pressure. If you're in double leg saddle or Vajrasana, gently bring your torso up if you haven't already. Unfold both legs. Both legs can extend forward for Paschimottanasana. Hello toes. Breathe in and breathe out, fold. Once you're folded over, you can extend the spine, finding some length, and exhale, refold. Inhale your body up. Then take your torso down onto the mat. Back to where we began. Pause for a moment with the hips on the floor. Knees up toward the sky. Rib cage and head resting heavily. Bring your right knee into your chest and up to the sky. Flex through the heel. You can hold on behind the leg. Option to extend the left leg forward. And you can stay right here or tuck your chin and curl your head, neck, and shoulders, walking your hands up, but not pulling with the arms. You're lifting with the abdomen as you're stretching the legs. So the back of the leg is stretching and the abdomen is curling up. So it's ab work and a leg stretch. Exhale, roll through the spine to release, trade legs. Right foot begins on the floor with left leg extending up to the sky. Heel is flexed as you take the back of the leg. Option to extend the right leg. Exhale, tuck your chin and curl your spine up one vertebrae at a time, walking your hands up toward the ankle, and you stay there, kicking up through the heel, curling up with your abdomen. And release. Take both legs up to the sky for a finish. You can invert here with your legs just up toward the sky, or you can take shoulder stand. Take another breath in. And a breath out. Gently bring yourself out of whatever inversion you found. Take a moment with your hips on the floor. Find your breath rhythm again. Let your body be heavy. You might release your legs if you haven't already, letting the feet fall out to the side, turning the palms up to the sky. Refocus on your breath. Reinforce a mind-body connection by integrating your thoughts with the body. So by thinking about the breath and observing the body in a passive way. Rather than divorcing the mind from the body and thinking about other things, try to purposefully set that aside to focus on the breath. Gently bring your attention back to the space. Deepen your inhale and exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch arms overhead. And as you're ready, roll to the right side. Spend a few breaths on your right before pressing up to a seated position. Let's finish with a mantra. Afterwards, you're welcome to join me for an Om. Om Bhur Swaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. One Om. Om. Bow your head to meet your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, yogis. Happy Monday to you all. It's so great to see you every week. I'm so happy. Have a great week. Let me know if you need anything, and we'll see you next time. Nice. Yes, your Warrior 3 was fantastic. How are your knees feeling, Jeannie? Or okay? Good. I'm glad we had that variation for you.
Yeah, I played soccer in college, so I can't do too much of that, but yeah, that was great. Thanks.
You know what? I'm gonna keep. I'm starting to strangely have, not strangely. It's just a process. Surprising knee pain, and when it's surprising, like why are my knees hurting? I often need to do strength building in my glutes and the quads, which seems counterintuitive. You're like, they're tight, I need to stretch. But then I'll go and do some squats or even like step up onto a low stool where I just step up. And then they start to feel better. So I'm gonna maybe fold that into our next Wednesday, a little strengthening for that area so the knees have the strength for what you need them for.
Totally agree. I had PT Ellen Hector told me to do the band exercises too, to strengthen the inner thigh as well. So yes, it's probably strength. I mean, I am 50, so.
You don't look a day over 20.
Thanks.
Great to have you, Jeannie. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey.
So we did have a quick question.
Perfect.
Before I forget to mention it to you. We are closing the studio on the 4th